Hello, beautiful people. It's me, I'm back. Well, you know it's me because you've tuned into this video. So, stupid thing to say, I get that. But I'm back. So, I've been off for something like 6 weeks or just had quite a long sabbatical or sojourn, whatever the word is. God, I sound pretentious, don't I? Really, really excited to be back though, guys. So what have I been up to over the past 6 weeks? Just work. Seeing David, home life as well. It's really, really hard being a grown-up, isn't it, sometimes? Do you know what I mean? And then you suddenly just come to the conclusion that 24 hours just isn't really enough hours in a day to get everything done you need to get done. So I'm doing a lot of the things I should be doing on a given day the next day. That's just me though, guys. You don't want to hear me waffling on about what I've been up to though, but I'm fine, I'm well, everything's grand in my life. Just been really, really busy with work. However, filming is now starting in earnest. So that's all you need to know, really. So with that in mind, guys, I thought today's video could be quite a small, gentle one, just to break me back in gently and to break you in as well, because I know I'm not everyone's cup of tea. I get that, guys. Can be quite full on and quite annoying sometimes, or just bloody really irritating to most of you or some of you out there. Before we start, guys, there have been a few changes to Les Visage, haven't there? There have been a few. The addition of the moustache or the removal of the bum fluff on the chin is a big departure for us, isn't it? It is. And I also have a new personal stylist. I do. My husband David's been cutting my hair for me for the past month or so. Bless him, who knew how talented he was? I think he's done a really, really, really good job. I mean, the first time he did it, it was a bit of a massacre in a butcher's shop, but I'll put some photos down here. Please don't laugh, guys, but my hair wasn't looking that great after David finished. But it was kind of my fault, though, because I told him to take the, the black guard thing off the clippers. I said, just take it off, Bubby, and just carry on regardless, which he did. And I ended up with tram lines, and basically I look like a car wreck, but... So I'm not that famous yet that I have my own team of stylists, this and that, and I never ever will be that famous because I don't want stylists. I can style myself, thank you very much, with the addition of my husband trimming my my barnet once in a while. That's enough for me, do you know what I mean? Basically, guys, today's tutorial, well, it's not even a tutorial, it's just me sat here moaning. Not moaning, or having a dig. Well, I will be having a dig at one of the biggest beauty companies in the entire world, Clarins, and all of them do this, guys, but particularly Clarins, I have noticed, have done this to one of their best-selling, most iconic products in the entire world. Estee Lauder do it, Chanel do it, they all do it, but what they do is they take one of the most iconic, one of the most favoured, one of the most cult products that they ever have had or made or created, whatever, and then they take it off the shelves, they hide it away somewhere in their factories, they water it down, they utterly change the formula, stick it back on the shelves, and hope no one will notice. They do. Many companies do this. And the reasons they do this is to save money, and that is basically just it. Now, Clarins have done this, as I said, to one of their most iconic products in just ever made, and that is their Eau Dynamisante treatment scent. It's a scent which apparently treats the skin. I'm not a big fan of Clarins because, in my opinion, they use way too many plant extracts and not enough chemicals. No, I didn't mean that, but I like peptides. I like synthetic, man-made stuff. I just think they're more effective. And I know that many of you are going to hate me for saying that, but it's just personal preference, isn't it? I used to work at John Lewis as for Estee Lauder, and when I worked there, Clarins was always number one in the entire store. I think Estee Lauder was number 3, ranking-wise, sales-wise. Clarins always thrashed every other counter or every other beauty company out there. And I could never work out why. I just thought, well, plant extracts are boring and highly ineffective. Long story short, guys, my friend Ddavid Bowie and I were online the other day talking, well, not the other day, about a month ago, and we were just talking about scents. And David's very much like me. He likes a very classy, very unique sort of scent, something which, you know, if you walk into a room, you know that with utter certainty that no one else is going to smell the same as you do, which I believe personally is the mark of a classy person. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right, I don't really know. But that's one of my, right, okay, waffling again. We were talking about that, and I said to him, have you ever smelt Eau Dynamisante by Clarins? He said no, he hadn't, and I told him it was one of my favourite fragrances. So about A week later, there was a little knock at the door, and I answered the door, and there was quite a big package in the postman's hands. Isn't there always? And sorry, and I opened it up, and just putting it back in its box, because I have had it out of its box, was a bottle of Dynamisante from my good friend David Bowie. And it wasn't only that, there were two in there. So a little one and a big one. There's quite a big difference between these two, which I'll come on to in a minute. I'm going to do more talking, guys, sorry, but this is why I'm wearing red today, because just felt like, you know, for harmony and colour matching and all of that. Shall I shut up and get on? Yeah, okay. So it's a 200ml bottle, and I was so excited, because in the 90s I used to wear that all the time. I used to wear it when I was nursing, because it does smell very, very, very peaceful. It's got very relaxing, very clean, very very classy sort of scent, but not overpowering at all. In fact, if my one criticism of the original version of Dynamisante would be, it just doesn't last very long on the skin, probably about an hour, 2 hours tops. So anyway, I got both of them out of the box, put this on the side, and just looked at it for the next week or so. I just didn't even want to open it, just in case it wasn't how I remembered. Do any of you guys out there, are you any of you like that? Do you know what I mean? Just in case, you know, your fantasy of an iconic product has disappeared or has been altered in some way, can be quite devastating. And that is the case here. Just wait a few minutes and I'll come on to why I'm so angry with Clarins. So I decided in that case to open up the small one first, which actually is a deodorant. It's not, the big one is a treatment scent, as in it's supposed to firm your skin, refresh your skin with all of these plant extracts, which Clarins have, and all of the essential oils. This is the deodorant. Can you see it says on there that it's, what does it say? Deodorant refreshes, perfumes and protects, says down there. And this is 100 mils. And in the 1990s, this is basically the only size of the big one which I could afford. It's something like 30 or 40 pounds even back then. It's really, really, really expensive. Hence the fact that that was the last time I wore it, was sometime like 1996. I'm getting off the beaten track. Yeah. So this was the first one I tried. Took the lid off it. I didn't expect it to last or anything. And lo and behold, there is that magic. Oh, it's just the most gorgeous scent. Now, I don't know whether it's because it's a deodorant, but there's quite a lot of alcohol in it. You can actually smell the alcohol quite strongly. But it does evaporate very, very quickly and just leaves behind the most beautiful, powdery, subtle, classy, a little bit lemony. I can definitely smell petitgrain, and I can also smell the base notes of patchouli in the deodorant. Doesn't last very long though, probably around half an hour, as opposed to the original scent. That doesn't last really at all, but the new version of it doesn't. So shall I start moaning about this one now? First of all, David, it is so kind of you to have sent this to me, to have ordered it, to have just packaged it up and sent it out to me. And I'm eternally grateful to you. But Clarins, what can I just take it out of its box? What can I say? What have you done? What have you done to this most delicious scent? When you take the lid off, the first smell is definitely that classic Dynamisante smell, which is basically a blend of lemon, patchouli and petitgrain. But there's something else there now, and I don't know what it is. It's much weaker, and it even smells a little bit piddly. Does that make sense? A little bit pissy. It does. It smells like urine. And this big bottle, I know for a fact, the 200ml one would have cost David something like 90 to 100 pounds, possibly a little bit less than that. Maybe I'm over exaggerating there massively, but it's anywhere near the 1990s scent. And I know that this is so different than the original scent, because this one, the little deodorant, still does smell identically to the 1990s, the original version of Dynamisante, whereas the big one doesn't smell anything like it. So what on earth is going on, Clarins? What have you done? You've taken this beautiful iconic scent, which smells so classy, and you ruined it, in my opinion. It doesn't even last half an hour on the skin. It doesn't, whereas the original version lasted a little bit longer, maybe, as I said before, about an hour to 2 hours tops. This one doesn't even last half an hour. and it doesn't even smell anywhere anything like the original version. It's the first burst of it does, but then the middle notes and the base notes are totally different. Quite I could even smell sort of a burnt sort of toffee, very unpleasant sort of smell with this. So what have you done, Clarins, and why have you done that? It's the same with Pour Monsieur by Chanel. The original version of Pour Monsieur by Chanel, the 1955 version, which I believe remained unaltered until possibly 10 years ago. Maybe a couple of different incarnations, but essentially remained unchanged until 10 years ago, was delicious and lasted all day and all night. And it just went through these different, I think it was called a chypre. I don't really know what that means, but well, I know what it means, but I don't know whether I'm pronouncing it correctly or not. But I think it means that a scent that goes through many different layers as the day goes on. I believe it's the French word for cypress. Could be wrong there, but. And then last year I went out and bought myself a bottle of Pour Monsieur because, again, I used to use that not in the 90s as such, but certainly in the early 2000s. But I went and bought myself a bottle of Pour Monsieur last year with my first wage. Since moving to Hereford, £150 or something I think it cost. Again, totally watered down, utterly ruined because it doesn't last half an hour on the skin. So you've got to keep reapplying it if you want to have that iconic lasting scent, and you've got to keep applying that throughout the day, thus using more of the product, thus lining the pockets of these beauty giants. So it's a very dishonest practice, and one which I'm not going to buy into. So Clarins, Chanel, and all of them that do it, no way, it's not good enough. As I'm sure many of you know out there, none of my videos are sponsored. I don't believe in being sponsored. I don't even do affiliate codes. I don't do anything like that. I've never really felt comfortable doing that with you guys because of many different reasons, basically to maintain my integrity and so that you trust my opinions 100%, because obvious reasons, but I can't go into it now, guys. But the reason I'm saying all of this is because I have found a dupe company. They haven't approached me or anything. I found them independently, and I have spoken about them on this channel before. It's Essence Vault again, and they have tried to dupe Eau Dynamisante. They have, and they've done pretty well, I suppose. This is their dupe of this. As I say, pretty well, not identical at all to the 1990s or the original formulation of Eau Dynamisante, but certainly much better than what it's turned into now. So, and this costs £25 for 100 mils, whereas Eau Dynamisante's £40 or £50 for a tiny little bottle. I'll just spray some on. Now, to be honest with you guys, the first burst you get out of this isn't the most pleasant smell in the world. But as we all know, you've got to give fragrances time to breathe and to rest and by the way, don't rub it in if you're going to spray it onto your skin. Don't rub it in because it disturbs the molecules and the harmonies and all of that rubbish. It's not rubbish though. It is something that perfumers advise you not to do, is to rub scents in to your skin. But the initial burst that I get from the dupe of Eau Dynamisante is bubblegum-y, sort of, you know, that sweet sort of hubba bubba, sort of the pink stuff we all used to eat and blow in our faces in the 80s. That very sweet, overpowering sort of strawberry sort of scent. This is a unisex scent though, so men can wear this. But trying to blow on it, trying to get it to hurry up. But the bubblegummy scent does pretty quickly segue into a reasonable representation of Eau Dynamisante. I don't think it's enough to convince anyone that I am actually wearing Eau Dynamisante, but it's certainly a very pleasant scent. There's lots of lemon in this dupe. There's lots of patchouli, the base notes of Eau Dynamisante, and the base notes in this. And there's possibly even petitgrain in there. Again, that's in the original of Eau Dynamisante. I don't know why I keep pointing over there. It is just down here, guys, and to prove that, I'll just show you. But there's also a very nice woody, very subtle, very what's the word? Almost clinically sort of smell to this one. Does anyone remember calamine? Is it calamine lotion? Something like that from the from when we were children. We used to go grazing our knees and stuff, and we'd go running home to our mum saying, "Mum, I've hurt myself," and she'd say, "Right, get the calamine lotion," or something else. I think it was more like a paste. I can't remember what it's called. I think it begins with the letter C, but again, my memory's just shot. So, but and that is the scent that will last all. It could even be oak moss, actually. You know, that woody sort of beautiful. Very, very, very hard to describe scent, but once all of those other scents move out the way, it just does leave the most beautiful scent. The same with the Pour Monsieur dupe, which I'll do a video on very, very soon. But it's for 25 quid. Do you know what I mean? It's not a bad scent at all. As I say, not identical to the original Eau Dynamisante, and but do we even know what the original smells like anymore? We do, because, as I said, the deodorant still smells like the original, although the original doesn't smell like the original anymore, if that makes sense. I'm sure it doesn't, but... So, I guess that today's lesson really, really is just to highlight to you guys out there that all of these big beauty companies are only interested in profit. That's all they're after. And they will take the most iconic, most favoured, most beloved scents, lipsticks, moisturizers, serums, anything that they sell, and they will water it down, stick it back out there, hope you won't notice that they've reformulated it, watered it down and made it vastly inferior, but ask you the same amount or even more for it. And I think that's incredibly dishonest of them, because many of these products have very, very loyal followings, and they are beloved by millions of people. I mean, Eau Dynamisante has been around for years, as has Pour Monsieur, as have all of these beautiful, iconic scents. Beauty products have been around for years, some of them. Elizabeth Arden's 8-Hour Cream. I'm not saying that's been hacked about or watered down. It may have done. I don't like it. It's like Vaseline, but what I'm trying to demonstrate there is the fact that there are these iconic products out there that these companies just think that, oh, well, the people won't notice. Do you know what I mean? And that's the kind of attitude which really, really, really bothers me in the beauty space. It's dishonest, it's deceitful, it's disingenuous, it's all of the D words I can think of, and it's disgusting, because we're not idiots. Do you know what I mean? This smells nothing like the original, like it used to. It smells absolutely nothing like it. In fact, when I've put this on, I've only worn it once. I wore it last Sunday for the first time, and I put it on in the morning, and by lunchtime I had to go and have a bath to wash it off. It was that bad. Literally, it was horrible. Whereas the original one, and if this deodorant lasted a little bit longer, I could use this as the original. As I've already said, that only lasts about half an hour, so reapplication would be necessary. But if that one smelt like that one, we wouldn't have an issue. But that one doesn't smell anything like that one, so we do have an issue. So Clarins, not very happy with you at all. And why? Why have you done that? That's why. Greedy buggers. I won't harp on about it anymore today. Just devastated, really. But I better go, guys. So have a wonderful Saturday. It is Saturday. Yeah, have a wonderful Saturday. And I will see you all very, very soon for the next tutorial video. Got loads and loads and loads of new products to review. Loads of new makeup tips. And yeah, so stick around and just stick around. Lots of love, guys, and remember, I do love you all very, very much. And hello to Malin from Norway. I'll put her name down here. She messaged me the other day on YouTube, the only one, to ask me where I'd been. I'm kidding. She was the only one, but it doesn't bother me the fact that nobody else, wanted to know where I was. So a huge shout out to you, Malin, and thank you for just inquiring after me and saying you were worried about me. And also a huge thank you to David Bowie for the lovely presents. Thank you so, so much. Take care. See you. Bye-bye.